In this video, guys, we're going to look at signs of a strong stock from a fundamental and a technical perspective. Stay tuned. Hey traders and investors, a very warm welcome to you. Okay, so what are the signs of a strong stock? Let's look at it from a technical perspective and let's look at it from a fundamental perspective. By the way, if you've got any additions or you disagree, stick it in the comments section below. This is kind of open for debate. There are loads of ways of looking for a strong stock, a weak stock, technically and fundamentally. Be interesting to see what you've got to say. Right, okay, number one, a very low debt to equity ratio. We want to see that is low, it's zero, or it's very, very low. Okay, number two, return on equity is greater than 15%. You want to see that return on equity is decent. Otherwise, it's probably not going to be the best stock. Maybe it's going to come up from that, but at some point we need to see that for it to be in the strong stock sector. Right, number three, net profit and revenue growth has got to be above 15%. We want to see a positive and growing free cash flow. That makes perfect sense, right? And we want to see a good dividend yield. This is up for debate. Some people say that dividend yield isn't that important if they're reinvesting in the company rather than paying dividends. I guess it depends on how you're going to look at it. You know, maybe something else like a low capex requirement, some stuff like that. Now these are kind of up for debate. I get that. Some people will see a strong stock not necessarily as a stock that's plodding along over long multiple years, in which case they might not be paying a dividend. They might have some of these metrics different, but this is where we come into the technicals, because we can kind of combine the two or take some of those and some of those to create rules of the stocks that we want to trade. All right, technical at 52-week highs or very, very close to 52-week highs. You don't want it too far away from those 52-week highs, because the idea of strength is that everyone is buying it, it's coming in, investors are keen, fund managers are keen, traders are keen, it's plodding on quite nicely. Second one is outperforming others in the sector. A good indication of a strong stock from a technical perspective is if it is outperforming the others. So get the top sector stocks, have a look at the charts and see how that's doing. You can eyeball it, you can use a benchmark at a specific price point, maybe the beginning of the year, and see if it's outperforming. It's outperforming the sector. It means that people in the know and money is flowing into it, which is the sign that it's a good stock. Because generally speaking, guys, technically it's a good stock. Most of the time it's probably ticking a few fundamental boxes. I know some of you are going to go, it's not always true, and I get it, it isn't always true. Sometimes fundamentals are suck for a specific stock, but the technicals are good, so you've got to also take that into account. Third one is above major moving averages. Generally speaking, if we're going to 52-week highs, we're probably going to be above the major moving averages, but the 100 period, the 100 period daily moving average, 200 day moving average, those kind of stuff, even the 20 if we're talking from a shorter term perspective. It's not a strong stock if it's below those major moving averages. Shallow pullbacks on the uptrend. We want to see nice shallow pullbacks. Any aggressive dips and dives probably aren't the indication of the strong stock that we're looking for. Shallow pullbacks indicates just buyers backing off. It's not really sellers getting aggressive. It's just buyers taking a break, backing off the throttle, letting it unwind a bit before putting the pedal down again, before putting the pressure on again to drive it higher. Okay, and the final one I've got for you guys is outperforming the broader market. Makes perfect sense, right? If it's outperforming the broader market, whether it's a FTSE 100, NASDAQ 100, Dow, S&P 500, Nikkei, whatever it is, as long as it is outperforming, it generally means that fund managers perceive it as strong and they are allocating capital to it. And if they are allocating capital to it, causing it to move in a stronger than the broader market, stronger than others in the sector, which will subsequently push it to 52-week highs, make it trade above the moving averages. The shallow pullbacks are generally because as soon as it pulls back, fund managers allocate more capital as they get inflows of capital. Those there generally will lend themselves, go hand in hand, and they'll say, okay, well actually it's probably fundamentally quite a good stock. Now I know there are some growth stocks, there are some new stocks that are kind of disruption type stocks that won't have these metrics, and people will be betting on them becoming the next bigger thing. But if we're going to use these kind of fundamental basics, then these are the kind of things we're going to look for on a fundamental aspect. These are the kind of things we're going to look for from a technical aspect. Add yours in the comment section below. The reason you would do this is to kind of have a filter, so you can filter out stocks that you want to stay long on. So you might have a fundamental filter for strong stocks, a technical filter for strong stocks, see the basket and then trade those from the long side, or consider putting those in your portfolio. That's the reason you'd be screening for signs of a strong stock or of a weak stock. Anyway guys, like I say, put your thoughts in the comment section below. If you're a fundamental expert, then let me know any additions to that or adjustments to that. If you're a technical guy, same thing, any additions or adjustments you would like to add. See you next one, take care. Whatever you do, keep your risk managed. Goodbye.